a piece of equipment that I've been really, really wanting to buy that I've heard will solve all of my camera problems and make it so that I don't have to think about them ever again.
Oh.
It's a piece from Black Magic Designs, and it's an outboard hardware that gives you control of 4 cameras at once.
Oh.
That you can just button push.
Right.
And you can change the angle, and you can change all kinds of stuff doing that. And then it, from what I understand, it will know no different.
Right.
But it will show what I want it to show.
I see.
Now, the only problem I think might end up being that it will show the wide angle I want it to be, but it'll end up being smaller.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm not sure about yet.
Right.
It's, I think, about $350, which is, I don't have that right on me right now, but that's what I've been wanting to try. Like, I've been thinking about buying it on my credit card just to try
test it out and then send it back if it's not.
Just to see will it work. You know, I can't afford it right now for sure, but I just don't know if it'll even do what I want it to do. You know, and that's the way Sweetwater works these days.
Right.
You know? So anyway, guys, if you have questions about English, then you are welcome to ask, and we will do our best to answer. All right.
My brother would like the Brothers Diesel, I'm sure. He loves
he probably knows it.
Oh, I'm sure he does. Because I've got this hat that he got me, and it's got like a little silhouette of a turbo in a car on it, and it looks sort of like a snail. And I was like, oh, this is cool. You got me a snail hat, and he was like, no, it's a turbo.
That's funny. All right, so here we sit.
The topic is whatever you'd like to ask. Romesa?
Elijah says it's phone cameras only or wide view. What do you mean, Elijah?
I think he's talking about on Hello Talk. I don't know or wide view.
Yeah, that's
I don't
the
know.
only thing I don't
I
know
think
what you
maybe
mean.
on the phone you can get the wide view.
They took that away too.
Oh,
it used to be that you could turn your phone and there would be a wide angle that came up.
Interesting.
And the first year or two of Hello Talk streaming was like that. And then I would tell, because people would say, I can only see half of you. And so I would say, turn your phone.
Yeah.
And they would say, oh, wow.
There's the other half.
The whole picture. But I don't know why they decided to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Because that really, I don't need the wide angle if you just go back to letting me have the landscape view.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Then I can just tell everybody.
Turn your phone.
Turn your phone. Yeah. And I could probably figure out, maybe just put up a sign that just says turn your phone.
yeah, just a banner that runs across the screen.
Yeah.
Hey, Bellin. Long time no see. Happy to be here.
If you have a question, you can come on stage. You have to have a question. Not good enough for me. If it's blurry, that's probably you. Part of the blur, a little bit, is the
lens.
The lens cap. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But when people say it's blurry, usually
you reload it.
Most people say it looks fine. So that means it's not me. That's a connection problem. Yeah, nothing will change now, Kikook, because they took that away. But they used to have a landscape view on Hello Talk, which was really nice.
Back in olden times.
Back in the old days, yeah. You're much more clear on YouTube. I
Interesting.
know. Yeah. Right. That's the Hello Talk settings. Right. Yeah. It's perfectly clear here where we are. It's perfectly clear. So, yeah, it's just, hey, we're trying to talk to people from around the world. You know, you got to remember that this is actually a pretty amazing technology we're using. I mean, you know, we're live broadcasting like a TV show
Yeah.
around the world.
And I mean, even 50 years ago, this
Was that was it ridiculous?
Exactly.
Yeah, when I was
Yeah.
a boy,
Right.
I sat in,
Yeah, even
in
then, yeah.
in my parents' basement and listened to the shortwave radio.
Mm-hmm.
And we were fascinated to listen to BBC London or
Yeah.
Radio Europe or whatever. And it was like, wow, I'm listening to France.
Yeah.
And now,
It's across the world too,
Right.
because I'm sure people's experiences in other countries are even more extreme with
Yeah.
with lack of communication.
right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because I was lucky enough to have internet. We got it when I was young, and I remember the dial-up days.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I miss that sound.
Yeah, I know. Right? Somebody should make that their ringtone.
Yeah.
How funny would that be?
Yeah,
that would be an
great.
awesome
That would be-
ringtone. Oh, I'm so gonna do that. I am
Because it's like
so gonna do
information
that.
coming through.
Yeah,
too,
like
you know,
yeah, connecting.
That's great. Hey, we got some new people. Live and podcast at the same time? I guess sort of, yeah.
This is what is a podcast anymore?
Other than just people talking into microphones.
yeah,
right? So
because
and
that's the
everybody
thing,
has
but
one.
nearly everybody that does a podcast
Yeah.
anymore, it's a video podcast.
Yeah,
so it
uh-huh.
becomes like there is no thing
Yeah.
that's just a podcast
Yeah, it's
anymore.
true.
It's now so it's a video podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There's this podcast about movies I've been listening to that's really interesting. I guess they do have a video version.
I spelled teacher wrong.
Oh, that's okay. I saw a bumper sticker. I saw a bumper sticker, and it had library spelled wrong. It said, "I love my library." It was like a homemade one. You could tell because it was like on the inside of the window.
There's an episode of Cops, and they're talking to this female cop that's arresting somebody or whatever, and she notoriously pronounces the word library a bunch over and over again. And it's just one of those cringy moments that's like, oh my god, the cop can't pronounce
Yeah.
the word library.
They wrote a joke about that in one of the episodes of I think it was Scrubs, and the guy he tells him, he's like, it's library, not library, and then he gets angry later in the episode. He goes, wow, your face is turning red as a strawberry.
I remember that, yeah. And February is another one
That's a
that
tough one, yeah.
I prefer to say February.
But
And that's the way I was raised. And if you know the history of the word, then that is absolutely the way it's supposed to be
Yes.
pronounced. But it just.
Wednesday is one that bothers me because.
But we've talked about that, right?
I don't know. Did we? Maybe we did.
Wednesday comes from Norse mythology.
Well, yeah, I guess,
Odin.
right.
Odin
okay.
was spelled Woden, Voden.
Uh-huh.
So Wednesday is Voden's Day. And now, why did the N become NE instead of EN?
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah,
That's
right,
where
yeah.
etymology gets
Uh-huh.
weird, and that
Yeah.
happens a lot.
Yeah.
Letters will switch.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently, I was learning. Do you know what the letters LE and EL mean on the end of words?
To do
Most
something?
people
I don't know.
and I didn't know either.
Yeah.
Really. Let's see. Look, this is really a good one. I should have pulled this
No
up
specific topic, White. Just
earlier. Yeah,
question
just ask
and answer.
questions. If you got questions, and give us a question, we will give you an answer. Let me just look it up in the etymology dictionary. Here it is. So it's a word-forming element, but it ends up being an appliance or a tool. So when you
Yeah.
look at the words that are, let's see. Here, let me try this.
A handle, or
Right,
something like
that's
that.
exactly
yeah.
right, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Word meaning tool.
Something you use with your hand. A hand. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's
actually.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's and then the EL words mean something else, and it's like, wow, dude, like how did I not know that?
Yeah.
And when you see
wonder-
it, you go like, oh yeah, well that makes sense.
You wanna look up-
candle,
I'm thinking of the
all
word
of this.
gamble. I wonder where
LE on the end of gamble?
Yeah.
Let's look.
Because like take control of a risk or something like that.
Gamble comes from the Old English gamenian, meaning to play a joke or a pun.
Huh.
Which is also the form of fumble.
Interesting. Okay.
Gamble is from a derivative of gamel, to play games. To play games. It comes from the word meaning to play games. The word game and gamble are related.
Okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
Originally, it was regarded as a slang word. It says the unetymological B may be from confusion with the unrelated gambol, spelled Gambol, which is a different word meaning to squander in gambling.
Oh.
So somebody thinks that those just got
Because they're closely linked as it
the
would
meaning
be.
is closely linked, so they end up.
And what happened? You
That's
know,
right.
people who are saying these words would be around both of them. I would
Right,
imagine.
that's
yeah.
right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, look at that etymology once again.
Yeah.
You know, game, gamble. I didn't make
Exactly,
that
and we
connection.
learn new things.
Yeah, I didn't make that connection. I never
No.
did, but now it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
And I worked in the casino industry for 7
But
years.
I still so
never
okay.
made
So then what's the LE still? We still
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Fumble meaning handling clumsily.
Yeah.
To
A
fumble.
Yeah, fumble. Yeah.
Which comes from the Dutch word fumla. And it may be an onomatopoeia, it says. Like bumble, stumble, and fumble.
Huh.
They all indicate clumsiness.
But what sound is fumble make? Like,
Uh,
we fumble, or maybe it's the noise he made when he dropped it
Yeah.
or something. Fumble.
yeah, who knows? Yeah.
Hi, thank you, Norman. Good to be back. Hello, Mona. Hello, Betty.
So the Norse word famla means to fumble or grope. Like
Yeah, like
in the dark.
Yes,
groping around
yes.
in the dark. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, yeah. Look at that. Yeah, LE words. Lots of LE
Yeah,
words meaning
interesting.
something about handling or using your hands or a tool or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Did we have any questions? If you have questions, write your questions and I will answer them. If you want to raise your hand and come on stage, you can, but you have to have a question. Okay? And thank you for telling everybody about my profile and everything. Hello, Mona. So if you have questions about grammar or vocabulary or reading or writing or listening or speaking or pronunciation or accent or confidence or public speaking or whatever, ask us.
Yeah,
and
like
we will try to.
like a juggler. Yeah, I guess juggle would probably come
Again,
from the same fumble.
LE
juggle,
meaning to
yeah.
handle or tool, some kind of
Yes.
thing that's with your hands. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, let me just do this. Words.
But like, and I was just thinking simple. I wonder what that would, if that is affected by that rule.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I know there was one page I saw. I hate when this happens where you can't find the
I
page.
know, yeah, the thing you're looking for.
Yeah, there's one page that does explain. Was this it? No, that's not it either.
Mona asks, a partner who truly respects you will never make you feel like a burden. What does burden mean here? Burden would be something that pulls you down, something that that holds you back.
Difficult to carry.
Yes, difficult to carry.
A burden is something that's hard to carry. It's something that's heavy, right? So a burden is a difficulty. Okay? So in this case, when they say, you will never make you feel like a burden, that means that your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, they're never going to make you feel like you're too much trouble. They're going to make you feel like, yeah, whatever problems you have are my problems.
And it's worth it.
Yeah. So any troubles we have are not a burden. When you say it's a burden, that makes people think this is a problem that you're not happy about. So, right, if you have a wife and you make them feel like they are a burden, that means that you're making them feel like they're a problem somehow. Like their difficulties are hard for you.
Yeah.
And that's not a good way,
No.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so a burden is a word that can often be used for any kind of thing that is difficult to deal with, difficult to carry. So it could be a literal burden, meaning he's giving me a bunch of books to carry. That's a big burden. That's a burden. It's heavy. It's something hard to carry. It's difficult. It's a burden. That's my burden, means that's the thing that I'm dealing with, the problems that I have, the heaviness that I carry.
And it could be emotionally as well.
Right.
Like
it's an emotional burden.
As in that case, like
Right.
if someone came back from war or something
That's
like
right.
that and they carry that burden with them.
Yeah, there's physical burdens and there's emotional burdens. Okay, and let's see.
A synonym for burden?
Yeah, I would say, well, let's just look it up.
I mean, problem and difficulty are pretty good.
Yeah, right. I'm just looking to see if there's a better one. Difficulty, hardship, concern, load, troubles. Your burdens are your troubles. Your burdens are your difficulties. Your burdens are your hardships. Your burdens is the load you carry. Your burdens are your responsibilities.
Yeah.
Your burdens are your anxieties. Those are your burdens. The things that you carry that are difficult, the pains that you carry, the problems that you carry, those are your burdens. Okay? Can reading develop speaking? Yes, it can. As a matter of fact, I use that with all of my younger students, but even my older students. When you speaking is a much faster activity that requires spontaneity, which means like you say it now. You're thinking it now and you say it now. It's quick. It's fast. So because that happens, that's why it's more common to make mistakes when you speak than when you write, because you don't have time to think about the words as much. So when you write, now you do have time to look at the words and see if they're correct or not. And reading is the same way. Writing and reading help you. Reading shows you examples of what it should look like and should sound like. And you can see the way to use sentence structure. You can see the ways to use vocabulary words. A lot of things can be learned by looking at reading to see style, right? Shakespeare is very different than Dr. Seuss, you know? Those are very different styles of writing, and that's important too, right? So yes, reading and writing both I use for helping my students improve their speaking, because reading and writing allow you to have the time to notice how it's supposed to work. Okay?
And it's just like another it's like another way to study speaking,
That's
right.
right.
As opposed to just listening to that. When you read that, it's a slow, like you said, it's a slower down version where you can control it much better than
That's
when you're
right.
speaking.
That's right. Yeah. Gives you time to see things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy wife, happy life. That's right.
That's a classic.
My second language is English, and I have a problem that some days I speak good English and some days not. Why? I'm a musician. Some days I play really well, and some days I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say some days I write well, some days I don't write anything.
The more you practice, though, the fewer days you have like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I practice a lot, then I'll be more consistent. Okay? And that consistency means that you have fewer days where you feel like you just can't do it. All right? So, the only way to get there is to do a lot more practice. All right? Now, when I practice now, I would say 95% of the time I have a good day. Maybe 5%. There's a day where I just go back to play drums. And I want to play, but I can't. I don't feel like I can. And my Chinese is the same way. There are some days when I feel like my Chinese brain is like, wow, man, I'm kicking ass. Like I can say anything, you know? But then there are other days when I feel like, you know, like this, like something broke inside my head and I don't know how to speak Chinese at all. You know, does that mean my Chinese is terrible? No, it means I had a bad day.
And we're allowed to have those.
Yeah, humans have bad days with everything.
I saw the new Superman, and it was kind of about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love all those guys.
Is there a difference between economy and finance? Yes, economy is a word that we use. It's the general term for a system of money. Finance is the term that we use to describe that field of
study. Because
the field of study and the field of work.
Of the industry.
The industry, yeah. But it's so when you work on Wall Street, you're in the finance industry, which is part of the economy.
And there are some ways that it could be interchanged, like in the home economy or home finances, you know, in that that way.
Economy has two different meanings in that
right.
way. Yeah, right. So, like your the economy of your home, right? Home economics, we call that, right? Mm-hmm. That's like how much money do you have personally in your budget, right? That's the economics of you.
Yes.
Right? But economy is most often used terms like more of a nationalistic, global kind of a view of which countries make more money and which, like GDP, and
right?
Things
or
like
produce
that, you know?
things where like economy covers everything sort of that's being produced, whereas I feel like finance is more targeted towards money in general.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Finance is part of the grand economy.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Hello, Doris.
Hi, Doris.
All right, I'm trying to catch. Okay, good. Yeah, economy is bigger than finance. Yeah.
Yes.
And finances, again, can refer to both something grand and big, like Wall Street. You know, that's finance industry. But finances also can be, if I say, hey, man, how are your finances this month?
I can't eat.
Yeah, I'm talking about, do you have money?
Right.
Are you doing okay with money this month? Right? My finances are tight this month means I don't have much money this month. Okay? So finance can be used, both economy and finance can be used on a macro and micro level. Okay? Means big level and a small level. Okay? Grand and personal. Okay? If you have a question, write your question and we will try to answer it. Finance is a subfield of economics. Right. Yeah. But the word was economy, not economics. Right? So economics is the field of study of the economy. Right? That's economics, right? Finance is the industry within the economy that deals with trading for stocks and money and banks and all of that kind of stuff, bonds and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gambling.
Yeah, right. It is gambling. It's exactly what it is. It's just another form of gambling.
And
That's
a lot
why-
of it's rigged.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Completely. Yeah. 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 I mean, it is really not that different than just going to Vegas.
No, and especially when it comes that whole GameStop thing with the shorting and
Yeah.
that is all, it's all made it pretty clear what it is too, you know?
Yeah, and the whole Robin Hood thing.
Yes,
Too. Yeah.
uh-huh.
Right. Yeah.
It all became pretty clear.
Yeah.
To
They're screwing
everybody,
everybody.
you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's a game. It's a rigged game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next. Let's see. Teacher, which is more important, grammar or accent?
Grammar.
Grammar. In this case, I'll say grammar is more important. However, accent, let's put it this way. Most people think your accent needs to be perfect. It doesn't. No, it does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be clear. Clear is not the same as perfect. Okay? My Chinese accent is not perfect, but it's clear enough. People usually understand me.
But if you get the words out of order, then,
Right. Yeah,
you
that's
know,
different. Yeah.
then you really...
So, in this case, I would say that if you have a perfect accent, but terrible grammar, then you're not going to speak well. But if you have perfect grammar, but a so-so accent, most people will still understand you. So grammar will be more important in this case. Okay? What are we doing with are we dealing with
The card.
yeah, Cartesian philosophy now?
I think, therefore, you are.
Yeah.
Fly, you, and so am I.
We think, therefore he is.
Yes, that's right. I think, therefore, he is.
And why do they have a bull in Wall Street for power symbols? So that's, I'm not sure about where
The
the
actual-
history
yeah,
is,
between
but
bear
bulls
and bull.
bears, right? So a bull market means a good market, and a bear market means a bad
I
market.
personally have always liked bears better. I like
know, right?
bears. So I always thought, when I was a kid and I heard bear market, I was like, cool. Oh, there's bears. I liked bears.
Let's find out where that comes from.
I guess a bear is scary, and a bull you can get some meat
18th
off of.
century London, with bear coming from the proverb to sell the bear's skin before one has caught the bear. Describing the practice of selling borrowed shares in hopes of buying them back cheaper.
That makes
Short
sense.
selling.
Exactly
That's
what we were just talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why they call it a bears, because there's an idiom in
of a bunch of people selling.
English,
Yeah.
British English, it's old British English. We're not familiar with this idiom.
That's where stocks
But,
and
yeah.
companies. East India Trading Company was the first publicly traded company.
So it says describing the practices. Okay, then the term bull likely arose in parallel, possibly as an antithesis to the bear, or from the bull's upward thrusting horns symbolizing rising prices. While
Well,
the
I feel
exact
like-
origin is uncertain, the terms were popularized around the time of the 1720 South Sea bubble, whatever that is.
For me, it's kind of like a bear represents the wilderness, whereas a bull will represent, more of the humanity and that sort of thing.
Right. I mean, like, that's
the slaughter of the actual animal to get something from it, as opposed to having to fight to
so. This is where we
wax
we come up with
philosophical.
these are assigned meanings. Assigned meanings can really help you with learning.
Yeah.
So is that the meaning of a bear? Is that
No.
where it comes from? No, it's not. But if that helps you,
Right.
if that helps you to remember the idea that bears are scary and they kill you and they're the scary forest that's really dangerous, that's a bad market.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous place to be. The bull is in the
In a
it's
field.
in the
Yeah.
field that's in the fenced in field, and it's taken care of, and it's fed well and it's doing well and it looks strong, you know, like it's a healthy bull, you know. If that helps you, then use that. That's called assigned meaning.
Don't let the bear near it, though.
Right, yeah. One day we're all going to just rush Wall Street and destroy it, and it will be the bear. The bear is eating the bull.
I was gonna say
The bear will finally eat the bull.
That'll be when the prairie dogs come and take over the market.
Let's see. What's the difference between pupils and students? Pupil is a word we don't use very often anymore. It's still a good word to know because you will see it, but it is very rarely used anymore when speaking about
it's usually
students.
used for effect.
Yeah, right, yeah. It's a formalized version of the word student. So student is the word you should use 99% of the time. But if there's a situation where you want to elevate your language and make it sound a little bit more elite, then you can say pupils, okay? Although it also gets confusing because it sounds like pupils, which is another part of your eye.
There was another word that I was thinking of the other day. That's like that. I mean, there's a bunch of them, but
what's the band name? Do you mean? You mean my band? I have a bunch of them. You can go to my profile and find all about that if you want to find out about that. Sometimes if you are not fluent or smooth, it will be more difficult for others to understand.
That can be true.
Well, sure, but your question was about, if I remember right,
which one was?
Right,
yeah, the question
grammar
was,
or accent.
The question, whoever asked it.
Yeah,
was about,
I'm pretty sure that was about grammar.
It was
and
between
accent.
grammar and accent.
And grammar would definitely still be more important. Yeah,
because even if it's fluent, well, it wouldn't be fluent, but if it's smooth and it's all jumbled up, it's going to be hard to know what you're saying. I'll go to Myanmar. What should I prepare? I've never been to Myanmar. I don't know.
That's I've always wanted to.
Yeah, I would go.
I saw that brief period of time when they kind of opened their tourism to the West, which I think is kind of closed now, from what I understand.
Understandable.
Anthony Bourdain went there and did a show there. And
I missed him.
It was really cool. Yeah, me too. Me too. So sad. But yeah, he did a show there, and he talked to a band that was really good that I ended up friending on Facebook.
Doesn't he? He always ends up with like good musicians and like random stuff
artists,
like that.
He's a cook, man. That's what we always used to hang out together. You know, like the chefs and the musicians. You know, we're all in the back.
There's that video of him grilling people for not washing their laundry. And have you ever seen that video? And then he's like, I'm just kidding. But they were all very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it's really
funny.
It's great.
I don't know. You know, for as far as Myanmar goes, you should probably find somebody from Myanmar and ask them.
Yeah.
You know, that would be the best way.
Anyone from Myanmar in the audience?
That's one of the best ways to use this app, guys. If you're traveling anywhere, if you're traveling to another country and you have this app, it's ridiculous. It's completely stupid. If you don't find somebody from that place and talk to them, why not?
Yeah.
You know, like if you're going to Paris, talk to somebody from Paris and ask them, what should I do?
Right.
You know, where should I go? What should I see? You know?
Hello with us.
Yeah.
Glad you're with us.
Yeah, you know what? I think that so when I hit the translation button, it translates
their
everything.
Name. Oh, I see.
Yeah. That's what I've learned.
Interesting.
Sometimes when I've said that, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah, because it doesn't
what
translate
are you talking
right.
about?
Yeah.
Who's with us? Yeah. Why is learning English at school in France so bad?
Well,
I can't speak to that, Celine, because
I've never been to France.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about their system.
I mean, if I had to guess, I would imagine there is some historical animosity that
I don't think that's it,
may lead to that.
I don't think that's it.
No.
There is that, but
yeah.
But I don't think that's the reason. Celine, why don't you tell us what you think?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's so bad?
You're the one who lives there. focus on. Well, I wonder if
That's true everywhere.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's because like that's more of a professional thing anyway. Is the right, and it's just something to do in class.
It's easier to test.
Yeah.
It's really a matter of very simple
That
simple
makes
thing.
a lot of sense.
If you want to test speaking, you have to have an individual speaking test for every single student. Do you know how much time that takes?
Yeah.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Schools are designed to show progress through testing. Testing in languages for speaking really requires time, and they don't have that time. So they give you mostly focus on writing and reading. But that's also why, again, I think that their biggest mistake is that they just don't talk about thinking
Right.
and work on thinking.
Yeah.
So okay, you can't
Because
speak.
that would connect. That would connect them. at
You
that
don't
point.
have
Yeah.
that much opportunity to speak. We get that, right? Okay, but have you practiced thinking? Did you practice thinking in English for a day? Did you practice thinking in French for a day? Did you practice
Right.
thinking in Chinese for a day? Have you tried to think in that language? Because it's crazy how millions and millions of students study languages, millions and millions of them,
Right.
and nobody ever mentions anything about your brain.
No.
They don't mention anything about what language is
Yeah.
happening up here.
It's all still done in the very dogmatic teaching
Right.
ways, you know,
Yeah.
that they've been stuck in for a long
Yeah.
time.
But again, why don't they teach about thinking? Because you can't test for it.
Right.
You can't test for it. It's that simple. Yeah. Will I be kidnapped if I go to Myanmar?
How well can you fight?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I doubt it. Why?
你会功夫吗? Not focusing on speaking is a general problem in schools all over the world. I agree. I think that that's the fact that they don't focus on speaking and they don't focus on practical use of the language.
Right.
Practical, not grammar tests.
Yeah.
Not do you know this conjugation
Write this
properly?
word 5 times.
You know, do
Yeah.
you know the exact conjugation every single time? No, I don't care. I want to say a sentence and I want to see if you understand. And if I go to Germany and I say a sentence in German with a couple of wrong conjugations, nobody's going to care. And they'll understand me. I know because I did. and I'm telling you that's exactly what they think. They don't really care. As a matter of fact, some people told me, we don't really care. You
Yeah.
know, Spanish too. If you say Spanish and you say something, you know, un poco or un poquito, nobody really cares,
Yeah.
and nobody's going to correct you, and they're going to know what you think.
A L instead of
You know?
la. Or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay, guys, whatever you're talking about with guns,
No
and
one's getting
kidnapping,
kidnapped.
Let's stop and move on. That's just silly talk, okay? Don't do that, all right? Let's not denigrate a country or any other place. And, you know, no, come on. Some teachers were teaching English and Arabic. Yeah, that's true everywhere too, right?
How does that work?
Well, like I said, I mean, think about it. Most of the teachers who teach French, they teach it in English.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So
right.
they're teaching Arabic.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
not
they're
an
teaching English
immersive type
in Arabic.
environment.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I don't have a problem with that because I'll tell you what, this whole thing about immersive environments,
It's overblown.
it's
a bit.
way overblown, and I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, I think it's traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? Do we throw babies in the deep end when we want them to learn how to swim? No, we don't. We put them in the shallow end and we stand by them and we help them and we guide them and we make sure that they're safe and we give them everything they need to learn safely. We don't just toss them into the bottom of the deep end and say, please do your best.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happens. Everybody who has gone into... My father even has a story about learning French in school, and that you walk in the door and the first day you walk in, they say hello, and that's the last English word you hear. And that's it. From that day forward, you're only going to hear French, and if you can't speak French, then you can't communicate. I think that's too far. I think
Yeah.
that's like too draconian, too crazy. Like, why are you torturing them to struggle? Like, I get it. It works. You're right. It does work, but it is traumatic.
Yeah.
It's not a pleasant,
And it's not a
way to
magic
learn.
bullet either.
Yeah, that's right.
That can just you just learn
And
it
some
after
people
that.
will be turned off.
big time. And
Turned off.
because and a lot of the time the amount of work and time investment is actually more than just doing focused study on different things. You know, if you're going out of your way to watch all these movies and watch these TV shows and find these different things, you're ending up doing more than if you were to just allot the 2 hours to doing, you know, closer to formal study. Not that
That's right.
that there's anything wrong with also watching those
Right.
programs if that's what you want to do.
Sure.
But if you're like seeking that out as a way to learn, then you're kind of wasting your time in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So the problem is this. Here's the bigger problem. In America, most of the teachers here will teach whatever language in English, but they're expected to have a high level of whatever language they are teaching. So, if they're teaching German and they're an English teacher, or I should say an English speaker, they know how to speak German perfectly, right? But or that's what they should be expected to do. I can't say that that's always
yeah,
true,
right.
but that's what we should expect. Okay. However, I have seen many Chinese teachers who teach English, who the Chinese teacher themselves have a pretty poor level of
Right.
English. And if you're teaching somebody and you're at a poor level, that's not good.
Right.
That's not good. Sometimes their accent is really bad, like problematic.
Right.
If you're a teacher, you definitely do need to have a higher level of
Right, because you don't want to
accent.
imprint that onto
That's
the
right.
kids.
Yeah.
Or onto your whatever students.
So I usually tell people accent doesn't really matter. But if you're trying to be an English teacher teaching English, then it does matter. And you do need to try to sound like me, you know? Yeah. Let's see. It's a proven method actually called the grammar translation method. What are we talking about, Norman? I'm not sure what you're referring to.
I would imagine most methods are proven in one way or another. You know, if someone was able to
I
do
know,
it.
especially these days on
If-
the
yeah, if
internet.
someone was able to-
everything's been proven.
If someone was able to do it, then it's
Yeah.
a proven method.
Right.
But not everyone's the same.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, if Chinese teach English, I'm not saying you can't have an accent. That's okay, but it should be clear.
Yeah.
Like, look, I took Chinese when I lived in Taiwan and I studied Chinese, and my teacher, she spoke really good English, but she definitely had an accent, but it wasn't a bad one. It was okay. There was no problem.
Right.
So she could communicate perfectly. So your accent is only an issue if it gets in the way of your communication, right? If it affects your communication, then the accent's a problem. Okay.
And the only time, a lot of the time, I've seen Chinese accents being a problem in understanding is the addition of syllables and sounds, you know, at the end of words. a lot
Right,
of the time.
especially right. Yeah.
Is really the only time that I've had any trouble with.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. What are the principles that you should take to teach a language of the English? Okay, all right. So the principles, my principles are that there are 8 pillars of language. Okay, 8 parts, 8 most important parts. Consider that like language is a table, okay, and it has 8 legs. This table, okay, and when you learn, you need to learn these things evenly to keep the table even. Okay, so those 8 things are reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Those are the 8 parts of language that I consider the table, that you have to balance them, right? So if your vocabulary is poor, but your grammar is good, then your table is like this. Right? If your grammar is great, but your reading is terrible, then your table is like this. right? So you need to work on all of them. Now, everybody has different needs. Everybody has different goals, learning goals. So the amount that you will work on each one might be different than anybody else, right? So maybe you are focused on just learning for traveling. So you're focused mostly on speaking and listening, not on reading and writing. That's okay, right? But that doesn't mean you should ignore them. It means that you still need to have some balance, right? But you can focus on what's important for your learning goals. Okay? So you need to have a way to study, a plan of study for each of those 8 areas. Okay? In an advanced level, you have to focus on training students to think in the language. Hajar, I think you need to start that at the beginning. I think you need to start that young. I don't think you should start thinking in the language later. That's going to be much harder.
That's the key to learning.
Right. Yeah.
Having it in your head.
That's why I tell everybody you should start trying to think in English every day. Any kind of simple thoughts that you have. Every simple thought that you have it in English. Okay, so if you're tired, think that in English. If you're hungry, think that in English. If you are late, think that in English. If you are sad or happy, think that in English. Those are simple thoughts. Just start doing them in English so that you can train your brain to start using English. Okay? If you have an accent, how do you teach someone who doesn't speak English at all? Again, your accent is not that important.
And there's other forms of media you can use to show
right.
what it sounds like.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's definitely too much.
If I say hello, or I say hello, or I say hello, or I say hello. Those are all different ways of pronouncing that word, but they're all fine, right? So,
hello.
Yeah, hello. That's right. So I don't care about the accent. Accent really is the least important of those 8 things that I mentioned, right? Pronunciation is important. It's very important, but it's important to have a basic level that's comprehensible.
Because it'll color the rest of it. You know, the learning that you have in all those other fields will influence your accent, and it'll get better on its own. Or if it's understandable, then it won't need to get any better.
The purpose of learning a language is not to have perfect pronunciation.
Right.
The purpose of learning a language is to communicate your ideas to someone else in another language.
Right.
And so that means communication is the important thing.
Yeah, we're not actors. We don't need to pretend to be an American.
That's right.
You know?
So Morgan Freeman is a famous actor, and should I pretend to be like him? No matter how much I try to pretend to be like him, I'm never going to be
Andy
him.
Dufresne with a tall glass of water.
Yeah, right. So your accent, really, that's not important. Just, it's not as important as you think. Okay? I don't know. I feel like, Babinka, you're worried about something.
Overly focused.
Yeah, you're very worried about your accent for some reason. There's something about accents that's bothering you. But I'm trying to tell you that
it's all good, baby.
Yeah, really, your accent is not likely the problem. Okay? Some think that pronunciation is not ever important. How can I persuade them? If I say that one pronounces well, people get a clear message from them. Irish. Pronunciation is great, okay? Look, I love pronunciation. I try to pronounce things well. What I'm trying to say is that when you learn a language, perfect pronunciation is not that important because it is not what makes communication happen, okay? Clear pronunciation is different than perfect pronunciation.
It's like Irish. Irish people, they speak English. They speak it with a far different accent
That's
than we
right.
do, and we can understand them
That's
just
right.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, most of the time.
Most of the
just
time, right?
fine.
Yeah, right.
What out here, mind?
Yeah. So I say you're out of your mind, and he says
What out here, mind?
that's just an accent. But if I understand him, then it's not a problem. Okay? How to think in English. Start with simple things. I'm hungry. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I like this. I don't like that. I want this. I don't want that. I need this. I don't need that. Simple.
Yeah, Kikuk has some good examples too.
Let's see.
Accents are beautiful.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree 100%.
Give me that. Do me a favor. Yeah.
The rag?
No, the crayons. Yeah. Look, everybody. What do I have here? These are crayons. And guess what? Look at this. These are not crayons. No. This is a box of accents. That's what this is. It's a box of accents. Okay? And look at all the different beautiful accents. We got a Russian accent and a German accent and a French accent and a Chinese accent and a Japanese accent and a Brazilian accent and a Spanish accent. So many accents, right? Now, if I want to write my name with one of these, if I want it to be clear, then my crayon needs to be sharp. If my crayon is not sharp, should I change crayons or should I sharpen the crayon? I should sharpen the crayon. So when you are talking about
I like that a lot.
switching accents, when you're trying to change your accent, it's like you're changing colors. But you don't need to change the color. You just need to make it clear. That's it. So I love the word sharpening your accent because that's what I'm trying to get you to do. I'm trying to get you to make it sharp. It's clear when it's sharp. Okay? That's it right there. Okay? That's my analogy.
I like that.
And the one other thing I tell people about accents, why should you keep your accent and not lose it? Now, I want it to be clear, but I'm saying you can keep your accent. You can still have an accent. There's another reason, and that reason is if you get rid of your accent, it's almost like a form of cultural shame.
Right.
It's like you're saying, my accent is not good enough.
I'm not at that level.
Yeah, or
yeah.
anybody who has an accent isn't as good as
Right.
somebody who's perfect from that country. It's a form of what we call linguicism. It means judging somebody's language unfairly. Okay? So that's another thing to remember. When you speak English, if you speak English and you have a Spanish accent, but everybody understands you, they are going to leave and they are going to think, wow, that person from Spain, their English is amazing. But if they have a perfect accent like me, they won't even know you're from Spain unless you ask.
And
Right?
they may say that guy didn't speak well at all.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So there is a part of this that when you learn another language and you have, you show pride in that. For example, I'm learning Chinese, he's learning Chinese, and if we speak and somebody understands us, they always say like, wow,
Yeah.
the Americans are learning Chinese. Look at that. How amazing.
They'll say how
That's
good your
great."
Chinese is,
Yeah,
regardless of how
even-
good your Chinese
right, yeah,
is.
exactly, right? But what I'm saying is it leaves them with an impression that they like that you appreciate a different culture. They like that you appreciate something else, right? So, again, if you have an accent, it's not the end of the world.
No.
It's only a problem if people go when you speak, if people look at you like this,
Then, then maybe there's a problem.
then there's a problem with your accent. But if people listen to you and they go, then there's no problem. They understand you.
Yeah.
Okay?
And you don't want to change yourself, you know,
Yeah.
to learn. You don't want to change who you are to learn a language. You don't need to.
What's the difference between tone and pronunciation? So in English, tone is referring to the pitch that we use to speak our words or sentences.
What are you doing over there?
Right? So Chinese tones are about the single word having 5 possible positions, neutral and the 4 tones, right? But in English, tone is more like, what are you doing? Where we go up with a question. You know, do you want some more milk? We go up when we're asking a question. But when I'm saying a statement, I say, don't do that. It's down, right? Those are down tones, right? So intonation in English is more about the music of your language, right? So if I speak like this, then it sounds really boring and nobody wants to listen to a monotone person who speaks like this all the time. Nobody will want to hear me. But that's why my voice goes up and it goes down and it comes back and it goes there. And that's intonation.
Then
Okay?
You're RoboCop.
Yeah,
Stop
right.
now.
Yeah, that's right. Okay? Pronunciation is your ability to sound those letters or words correctly. That's pronunciation. Now, when I say correctly, there's perfectly and there's accurately, meaning like, can it be understood, or is it excellent?
February
Right.
versus
Yeah,
February.
right, exactly, right, yeah. Okay, and let's see, how can we use this application effectively?
You're doing it. There you go. You've effectively used the application.
I'll be honest with you, I don't even know how to use this app effectively anymore. And I'll tell you why, because there is one problem that HelloTalk does have, a big problem that they never ever address. Their app has too much,
Yeah.
to be honest. It has too much, and nobody knows how to use any of it.
Right.
Like, they add new features all the time, but they don't tell anybody how to use them. They don't tell anybody what they're for.
And then it just
They don't-
clutters up. the
Right,
whole
and then it
thing,
just
yeah.
becomes that, to be honest, I would say I use only about less than 50%, maybe 40% of what HelloTalk has, I use. Okay? Because, yeah, that's a problem for HelloTalk. HelloTalk has a lot of functions, a lot of features, but to be honest, it's too much. When I go to a restaurant, if the menu is 25 pages long, I know that this restaurant doesn't do anything well.
That was the old Gordon Ramsay trick.
Yeah, that's right.
I saw,
If the menu has only 10 things on it, then I know they do those 10 things really well. Right? So HelloTalk is kind of now doing too much, and they have been for a while. They've been trying to dip their toes into too many things. They're trying to be social media. They're trying to be an app that teaches languages. They're trying to be live streaming and
Right.
and videos, and it's too much. It's too much. They should have kind of,
Dance with the one that
I
brought
think
you.
they should have focused a little bit more
Yeah.
on education rather than trying to be another social media app, which is really what it seems like they're trying to do now. They're just
Right.
making it into another social media. Now, I think I understand there are some political reasons why they might be doing that, some financial and political reasons, but it's just easier to market a social media app than it is. You're talking about a much bigger market,
Right.
right? But yeah, sometimes you dance with the girl, you know,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like sometimes it's better to choose the smaller path, you know, and that path will lead you to the right place rather than taking the big path and getting lost.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think they're doing, is they've gone too big, too much, and now I don't even know how to use the app anymore. I don't.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to care because they don't seem to do anything about it. They don't tell anybody about it. They don't have any.
Just roll out a feature.
Yeah, they
and
just
yeah.
roll out features and that's it. So I have no idea what There are probably 20 things that HelloTalk can do now that I don't even know about. Okay. The problem is sometimes I hear people have a strong accent and I have a hard time understanding them. Right. So if they have a strong accent, then that is a problem. But you're not talking about everybody who has a strong accent. Okay? You're talking about some people have an accent, but it's not a strong accent. Okay? Babinka, you can understand me because my accent is what we call neutral mostly. Okay? We have mostly the Midland, Ohio accent. There are 3 accents in Ohio. And the Southern Ohio accent, yours is maybe half and half. I think yours is half Southern, half Midland.
Yeah, I've got a little of that.
I think mine is mostly Midland. And Midland, Ohio accent is almost identical to the IPA pronunciation. Right? So that's why we call it neutral. Okay, but Boston, the accent from Boston, very different. You know, Chris, are you here, Chris? My buddy Chris, he's another live streamer here. He's from Boston, and he has a beautiful Boston accent. I love his accent. And, but it's strong. It's very strong. You know, he doesn't say park the car. He says park the car. You know, at Harvard Yard. So, you know, accents can be a problem if they're a bad accent or a strong accent, but most people don't have that. Most people. Okay? All right. Again, please, I'm trying to keep up. Be patient. Do I have an accent? Yeah, right. Like I said, we have the Midland, Ohio accent. Okay? There are many, many accents in America. I don't know how many. Let's just Google and see how many accents in America. I'm gonna guess.
I would say. I mean, depending on regionally,
right.
Here you got close to 100, I would think.
I was gonna guess closer to 30 or 40, but I could be wrong. 30.
Wow.
There is no single definitive answer to how many accents there are in the United States, but linguists generally recognize over 30 major dialects.
Because, like, between Georgia and Alabama, those are different accents.
Yeah, right.
And,
yeah.
And that seems to kind of put them in the same bracket.
No, I don't think I would say that. No. I mean, those are just the dialect, the general ones. But then within those, I think that's what they're saying. Yes. Yeah, Georgia's different than Texas, which is different than Alabama.
And you get, like, Washington and those northern that start to have that Canadian lilt to a lot of their stuff. And,
And then again, Maine is different than,
and then even on the other side of,
exactly.
the north.
Yeah, so that's just the regions. Then within those regions, there are 30 separate dialects that they recognize, and I'm sure they're talking about like the Bronx and Queens
and Connecticut
and that's what they're talking about, and Georgia and Texas and
Tennessee and
exactly. That's why I said probably close to 30 because we have 50 states, so I was kind of thinking it's not going to be 50 because I don't think within each state, like Ohio has 3, right? But within every single state, I don't think
Wyoming barely has 1.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like Montana is like there's only 20 people who live in Montana.
So and they say, "Gee, what are you doing?"
Yeah. Like the whole state of Montana is enormous. It's huge. But there's like no people who live there, so they probably all have nearly the same accent, in that area.
That's the accent.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. Yeah. Okay. And Babinka, what I would say is, Babinka, it's not necessarily your problem. It's your problem because you need to choose who you listen to better. Okay? Many people come here and they say, I can understand you, Teacher Mark, but I can't understand the YouTube guy or the TikTok guy. Why can't I understand him? That's because you're not choosing well.
Yeah.
You're just listening to anyone.
They're speaking to a different audience.
Language has levels, just like anything else. Is everyone who plays the piano the same? No. Is everybody who cooks the same? No. Language is like that too. But you don't think about that. You just go on and just listen to anybody who speaks because that's language. Listen to people who speak well. Don't just listen to anyone. And then, if you can understand me, then you'll know. Okay, but I can understand.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
I just have to understand people who speak well. Okay? What's the difference between give in and cave in? Not much. Not much. Caving in is basically giving in. That's what it means, right? Cave in has a secondary meaning that's literal.
Yeah.
Like a literal meaning that the cave has fallen, right? You're inside the cave and the roof of the cave falls. That's a cave in, okay? But caving in means to give up or say like, okay, I cave. I cave means I give up. I surrender. Whatever you want. I'm tired of arguing about it, okay? I've caved in, okay? Indian accent is really hard to understand. It can be.
I feel like sometimes
it can be.
Sometimes Indians have some of the better accents. It depends on.
It does depend, but Indians have a similar problem. Chinese people and Indian people, the languages in India, not just Hindi, but Telugu and Tamil and some of the others that are in India, those languages are mostly small mouth languages. They have a very small mouth. The pronunciation of everything in those languages uses a small mouth. Chinese is the same way. And because of that, when Chinese people speak English, many times their English is not as clear. Why? Because English requires a big, big mouth for good pronunciation. Okay? So if you're from India and you're speaking English, you're probably using your small Indian mouth when you do that, right? When you're using the language, the mouth size that you use when you usually speak. And that's why your English now sounds like everything comes out sounding like this, because now your mouth is very, very small and everything's very, very, very close together. And so it's not as clear because, and then the other problem is Indian languages also tend to be rhythmically faster.
Right.
Right? So when you add those two things together, a fast mouth that's a small mouth
Becomes a jumble.
speaking another language, it becomes very difficult to understand clearly. So that's why I tell Indians, many times I tell them to slow down when they speak and open your mouth bigger. Make the pronunciation more clear by opening your mouth more. Okay? All right. About accent for me, I understand English teachers completely. So yeah, the important thing is to send a clear idea with an easy way. That's right. Yeah. Let's see. Accent is an easy way to say where someone is from. Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes you go like, oh yeah, that's a Spanish accent. So, but then how many countries are there from have Spanish accents? So that's hard, right? And if I hear somebody with an Arabic accent, again, I can tell you you're probably from the Middle East, but I can't tell you which country probably.
And in between Canada and America, you can tell sometimes, but there's some parts of Canada where you can't tell.
Like
Nova
I used to
Scotia
teach with a guy
like
from Canada. When I was in Taiwan, there was a good friend of mine. He played guitar. We used to play music together. And Mike Filipowicz, and his accent is exactly like mine, with the exception of a boot.
Yeah, and sorry.
Right, sorry and a boot. But other than those two words or whatever,
right,
and those couple of sounds, his accent is identical to mine. His clarity is identical to mine. They just have those couple of words that are slightly different.
And then if you didn't know, you wouldn't really be able to pick out as much.
Right, yeah. But, so I would say, accents sometimes can be an easy way to say where someone's from. But accents can be very, very subtle, and you can have a mix of accents, which makes things difficult. Okay? In fact, Americans also have accents. Yeah, right. We have lots of accents. Right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hello, are you listening? Fix it. Fix what?
It's fixed.
Yeah, Jimmy, be patient. Let's see. I am Indian. I understand English. Okay, again, I didn't say anything about Indians can't understand English. I didn't say that at all.
I think he might have been responding to one of the other.
Yeah, could be. Maybe. Okay. Can I imitate an Alabama accent? Ooh. Specifically from Alabama.
Yeah, I don't know about exactly from Alabama, but you can get pretty southern and you can start to talk like this, and we're all going to Myrtle Beach here in a little while.
That's right. You want to go down the fishing hole later?
Yeah, hell yeah. We're going to catch some catfish.
Yeah.
My mama's going to cook them up.
We'll get some crawdaddies first.
Yes. Yeah. I don't mind catching them.
That's probably a terrible Alabama accent.
That dog will hunt.
Yeah, that's right.
Honestly, that's probably a little more like North Carolina than we're getting more southern than we are.
That's right. We're imitating a southernish accent.
An estimate.
Yeah. Okay.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, right. All right. Yeah, that's Texas. Yeah, he's from Texas. Yeah. Why is the American accent? Again, Irish, we have many accents, okay? But what you're talking about is really simple.
Prominence in media?
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. It's really, really, really simple. It's Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, TV shows and movies. There is no country on this earth that is more famous for TV shows and movies than America. Nobody makes more than we do. You know, I mean, many other countries are catching up, but no.
I still think that I'm pretty sure film is still behind finance and business is the second biggest major.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Okay, and let's see. Are there slight nuances? Yes, there are many, many nuances, Norman. Like I said, if you live in New York City, there are a few accents just in New York City.
Yeah. Just within the same building.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, that's due to international stuff, but
yeah. Okay. Neha says, I'm getting interviewed on Monday and I'm losing confidence because of language. Neha, interviews are all about confidence. They're not about language. They're about confidence, right? So a job interview is somebody that has a problem. I have a problem. I need help. I need a solution. He's going to be my solution. Oh, so he has to look like the solution to my problem. So he has to look confident and he has to look like he knows what he's doing, right? And that he feels like, oh, you have a problem? I am
the solution.
I can help you with that, you know? If you look like you have a problem, well, I have more problems.
Yeah, me too.
I have more problems that I can give you. Then they're not going to hire you if you look like you're another problem, right? They already have a problem. They need help with that, okay? So...
And that's why they're talking to you. That's why you're getting the interview.
Yeah, take a deep breath and look in the mirror and say, I believe in myself, and go do it. Okay? All right. Hello, Angela. Long time no see. How are you?
Catch catfish.
Okay, again, if the image quality is poor, it's not my fault. That's Hello Talk or that's your internet. Okay? You enjoyed Yellowstone mostly because of the accents.
I think those are probably pretty all over the place, if I had to guess.
I would have to take a guess, too. Yeah, sometimes Hollywood is not exactly accurate.
That's like Mel Gibson and his Scottish accent in Braveheart.
Right. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
will move. I will not.
Yeah. Or Robin Hood.
Oh, yeah. Kevin
with
Costner.
Kevin Costner. Yeah, it was even worse.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
dude,
bad.
why did you even take that movie?
Yeah, I
Man,
know,
you
it's
know
bad.
you can't do a British accent. Why would you even do that? You
I'm
know?
the Prince of Thieves.
Yeah, right. Have I ever had a funny situation with accents? Yes, Irish. I went to Spain for the first time last year. I've never been to Europe before, but I took my first trip to Europe and I was in Spain and I was going to the museum, the Prado Museum, and I was waiting in line at the Prado Museum. And behind me, there was a guy who started talking to me. And when he started talking to me, I thought he must be speaking another language at first because I didn't understand a word he said. It took me about a minute and a half before I realized he's Scottish. And he had the thickest, what was the movie?
Trainspotting?
Trainspotting.
Yeah.
Way worse. Way worse than anything in Trainspotting. That dude walked off the set of Trainspotting. I mean, I'm not joking.
With a beverage.
It was really like, I have never met a character that was like, dude, you're like something out of a movie.
What are you doing in Scotland in December?
Yeah, it was so funny. His accent, his attitude. He got really mad because somebody couldn't understand him, and he started yelling at him.
What do you mean you can't understand me?
Yeah, right. Yeah, like tossers this,
Yeah,
tossers
tosser
that.
can't
Yeah,
understand
right.
me.
Yeah, it was so funny, and I really struggled. But then we talked for another 20 minutes while we were waiting in line, and it was definitely one of the most difficult. I had to really listen. I had to really, and he used the Scottish. It's not just the accent. Scots also use a lot of slang.
Yeah.
Like every other word is some sort
like
of a
not
slang.
even slang, and they say
Right.
"canny" all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't even know if it means can or can't.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yes, I've had a funny situation with accents before.
Yeah, my brother lived in England for close to over a year in total time, and he definitely has had some interactions with some of the people in the country of England that is very hard to understand.
My kids have different accents because, we're a mixed marriage. It's so funny. So they pronounce juice as his father was Spanish Romanian. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And again, like I didn't say I couldn't bring somebody up on stage. There are a lot of questions. We're trying to answer as many of the questions in the chat as possible. Okay. So that I can help as many people as possible. But let me finish answering 2 more questions, then I'm going to bring somebody on stage, okay? So, how to arrange thinking in English. 明天如果你很饿，你是要想什么？ I'm hungry. 明天如果你很累，你是要想什么？ I'm tired. Okay? So, 如果你可以想简单的英文，你需要，okay? The Kiwi accent is most difficult to understand. I've met a few Kiwis, and
I feel like theirs is generally.
It was
I
like
think Australian's
it was
tougher
very similar
than-
to Australian.
Yeah.
And Australian is only tough if you meet an Australian. Australians are like Scots; they love slang,
And out in the country,
they've
too,
got
they've
so
got-
much
yeah.
like fun slang, really fun slang. But
Oh, nar.
the couple of Kiwis that I met, I was actually surprised that I thought that their accent would be stronger and more difficult to understand, but it really was very similar to an Australian accent, I thought, to me. Just slightly different. Actually, it was more their pacing is what I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
They're slower speaking than Australians. Australians can be a bit animated.
And they've all got the tight vowels. You got to pinch your mouth when you say your vowels.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's see. My first contact with English was Aussie people using mates and contractions, right? Yeah. Okay, now, who wants to come on stage and talk to us? Raise your hand if you want to come on stage. How can I improve paragraphs I write in English? ChatGPT, ChatGPT, ChatGPT. That's very simple. Go to ChatGPT, write your paragraph, tell it to help you correct your paragraph. Tell it to help you improve your writing, and it will. Okay? Okay. Let's talk to Sharif. Sharif, do you want to come on stage? Let's try one more time. Sharif?
Hello.
Or Miss Margia, is it? Miss Margia?
What is that flag?
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
No? Okay, well, see, I always think
tried.
it's funny. Like,
Yeah.
I want to talk to you, I want to talk to you, I want to talk to you. Okay, come.
Nah.
Silence. Yeah. Raise your hand if you want to come on stage. Come on. I forget the words that I learn. What's the solution? Don't forget. Learn in a better way. If you're learning and forgetting, then the problem is the way you're learning is not a good way. It's that simple. Okay? Learning can be shallow or deep. Shallow learning is fast learning. Fast learning is easy to forget. So, deep learning is slow learning. Slow learning is hard to forget. The faster you learn, the faster you forget. The slower you learn, the slower you forget. Okay? And Wings, if you want to know about vocabulary, then I will guide you to, let's see here. Look at that. There's my article right there.
Boom.
The importance of having a vocabulary learning system. I wrote this article. It is everything that you need to know about learning vocabulary words. And if you use that article, if you use my system, you will not forget. Okay? All right. Well, we already tried Sharif and Miss Margia, so Umar is next. Hello, Umar.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, my friend?
I am doing good.
Good. And you're in Pakistan. Are you in Islamabad or Karachi or Lahore, or where are you?
No, I am in Peshawar.
Peshawar. Okay. All right. All right. And how can I help you today? What can we do for you?
I think a couple of weeks ago you were discussing a topic that if you have interest in something, then you should do. So I have a question that if somebody want to do something, uh, is talent is enough, or only hard work is enough, or both are necessary?
Okay.
If he has interest in that work.
Okay. So that's a good question. I like this question. Is talent more important than hard work? Right? They're both important, but talent is a funny thing because many people, when they think about talent, they think that talent can only be something that you get by being born with it.
It's a product.
Like you're
of hard
born
work.
you're born with
Yeah.
talent. But no, there is another kind of talent that's much more common. It's called hard work.
Yeah.
Okay? Guess what? Talent is a pursued interest. Okay? This is a famous quote from there's a painter in America. His name is Bob Ross. He used to teach painting on
Yep.
TV every day. And that's what he said. He said talent is a pursued interest. So if you have an interest and you chase after it and pursue it for a long time, eventually somebody's going to say, wow, he's so talented.
Right.
You know? So what are they seeing? They're seeing the product of all of your work. They're seeing all the effort you did. So many times I would perform. I'm a musician. I play drums. I'm in a bar and I'm playing music and they say, wow, he's so talented. But they're not seeing all the hours that I put in to work hard to become that way.
Yeah, that it reminds me of Kobe Bryant. Do you know Kobe? Do you know who Kobe Bryant was? The basketball player.
Famous basketball player, Kobe Bryant.
He was one of the most talented. He's a very
Maybe I knew him.
Yeah, a
it's-
very talented athlete, but he would work harder than anybody else. He would be in the gym and he would practice for longer hours than anybody else. And there are guys who played at the same time as him with the same level of talent that never were
Yeah.
as good as he was because they didn't practice as much.
And we have another saying. We say, hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. Hustle means to work hard, right? So when I was a boy and I'm playing on the football team and my coach is yelling, hustle, hustle, hustle. He's saying like, run, run, try hard, right? So hustle means try hard. And I remember when I was younger, there were some drummers that I saw who were my age or younger, and they were so much better than me. They could play so much, like it was so easy for them, and I had to work really hard for it. But then over the years, those same people, because it was easy for them, they stay right here. But I keep working hard, and so I end up here. And so hard work sometimes is what gets you past the people who have talent. Because sometimes the people with talent don't work hard. Okay? So, they're both important. They're both important.
You got some music?
Yeah, they're both important, okay? But I would say that the way it works is find something that you're interested in. Find something that you like, okay? Start doing it and do it seriously, right? You have to remember that whatever you are doing, there is somebody in this world, probably, who does that thing very seriously. Like that's their life, right? So you have to imagine that you're part of a tradition. That's what I think it's important to imagine.
I think that's
you're part of a
important for
tradition.
humanity in
Yeah.
general, as for psyche.
Yeah, when you imagine that you're part of something bigger, now you have a responsibility to do it well, right? So I'm a drummer, and I come from a family of drummers. Not my family. I mean the people who are drummers. That's my family. Every drummer in this world, that's my family, okay? And my heroes, those are the people who did it much better than me. I want to try to do it on their level, right? I'm living in the tradition, right? And so you have to respect the tradition by doing your best, right? When you feel like you're part of a grand tradition, now it feels like you want to be more serious
Yeah.
about it, right? So, yeah. I would say that I hope Umar's still there.
I think he said, "Sorry, I got to call meet later." in
Did
the
he?
chat.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, what we're talking about is one, is talent the same as hustle? And no, they're not. They're not the same. They're working hard is not the same as talent. Talent is something that you can find, right? So how did I find drums? Well, I started on playing violin. I didn't like that. Then I went to saxophone. I didn't like that. And then I went to piano, did that for a couple years. It was okay, but I still didn't like that. Then I tried the drums and I thought, oh, wow, I found the one I really, really like. You have to try some things to find the things that you like. You can't just say, well, I hope I like something. No, you have to try some things. Then you'll find out if you like it or not, okay? You know, I tried some sports, right? Like I tried football, didn't like football. So I don't do football, right? But I tried fishing. I love fishing, so I do fishing, right? So you have to find things by trying things. And then once you start doing them, if you want people to say, he's talented, then you have to.
It will take work.
You have to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to work at it. And you have to be serious about it. Yeah. Well, Umar, we're gonna pull you off the stage and talk to somebody else here real quick, but you can raise your hand again if you want to come back later, okay? But that was a good question. I
Yeah.
appreciate that question. That was good. Again, if you have a question, raise your hand. You can come up and talk to me, or us, I should say. How about grammar? How to work on grammar? Get a good grammar book. My favorite is called Basic English Grammar. It's by a company called Publishing.
Publishing.
Oh God, I can't.
Oh,
there
Lord.
we go. Saddleback Publishing. Saddleback Publishing is a company that makes a book called Basic English Grammar. Basic English Grammar. Basic English Grammar. I have many, many grammar books, but that's the one I like the most. Okay, it's the easiest, it's the most fun, it's the least painful. Okay, and then there's also another great website that you can go to called Games to Learn English. Oops. I can't type or spell today.
I was like, I think that's a Georgian city.
Yeah, GamesToLearnEnglish.com. This website is free, and it's all just games for learning English, and a lot of it is grammar based. Okay, some of it is vocabulary based, but some of it is grammar based. Okay. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have here? Did someone say something about AI?
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
Where was that? Which is better for translation, AI or Google? You know what? I haven't tested that yet. I haven't really tested to see which is better at this point.
And the Google AI, it has its own.
Right, they have AI now too.
Yeah.
Right, so. But if I had to take a guess, I would probably say AI. Probably.
I would imagine it's sourcing a lot of its stuff from Google.
Of course.
Anyway.
Yeah, of course. Of course it is. Yeah. Okay. Do I use any slang phrases for people who don't get out of the gym? Oh, yeah. That's what we call them, gym rats.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a gym rat. Somebody who's always in the gym.
Maybe
and they just spend all their time there.
Maybe a meathead, but
Yeah,
that's a little meaner.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, or jock.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but jock is usually that's more
It's a
like
little wider.
sports,
Yeah,
right?
uh-huh.
Like a sports enthusiast is a jock. Okay, but many jocks are also gym rats.
Yeah.
You know, but gym rat is what we usually say. Yeah. Just like the rabbit and the turtle. Yeah, it is kind of just like the
I
rabbit
think,
and the
yeah,
turtle.
about the talent
yeah,
versus.
that's right.
Yeah, hard work.
Okay, what else here? Please be patient. I'm trying to catch up. Okay, good. I'm caught up. All right. We still have Sharif and Miss Marija here. I'll try them again. Sharif, if you want to come up. For intermediate level, did you go to my website? Did you go to my website yet? Go to my website, and on my website, here is my website. Okay, and if you go here, you can buy lessons from me, but you also can go up here to the top and you can find my blog right here where you can read articles that I've written about English and other concepts, okay, for learning, okay? And you can also click resources. And if you go here, look, I have reading, writing, listening, speaking, IELTS and TOEFL, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. So if you want to work on your vocabulary, click vocabulary, and boom, here is one link, another link, another link, another link, and another link, all for vocabulary. You said you want to work on grammar, so let's go to the grammar. You said intermediate English, right? I think you said, right? Intermediate.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I would say grammar is in here. Games to Learn English, BBC English Grammar, Dave's English Grammar Cafe, or English Cafe, LO English Grammar, lots of them here, okay? So, yes, if you go here and check out my links, you'll find lots of stuff that'll be intermediate level, okay? Intermediate level for reading, writing, listening, speaking, everything, okay? It's all right there. You're welcome. Thank you very much for that nice wish.
Yes, thank you.
What do I think is the best reasoning for learning English as a common person who has no money to go to other countries? Well, English is a language that is very useful in any country.
Well, and it was like we were talking about before with the just sheer amount of English media.
Right.
You're opening yourself up to being able to
Exactly.
access a lot of different things.
That's what I meant by
yeah.
saying, like, it doesn't matter what country you live in,
Yeah.
English can be something that you can
Utilize,
You can
yeah.
utilize and you can live with, you can
Yeah.
experience, because it's so easy to access the media.
Yes.
Right? So, what I would say is, what's the best reasoning?
I'm not a
Because-
salesman.
Well, no, I'll say learning a language is a way that you can now express yourself to billions of other people, and you can understand the feelings and ideas of billions of other people now. So that's the reason to learn any language, okay, but especially English, because if you learn English, you now can express yourself to billions of other people, and you can understand them when they express themselves to you. So if they speak French and you don't speak French, if they speak German and you don't speak German, but if you go to Germany, right? If I go to Germany and I need to find somebody who speaks English, not that hard. If I go to China, I need to find somebody who speaks English, not that hard.
Right.
But if I go to China and I want to find somebody who speaks French or German or Portuguese or, let's say, Laotian, a little harder. That's going to be a little harder, right? That's why English is what we call a common language. It's a lingua franca. It means a language that we all use to try to talk to each other, to understand each other better now. Okay? So that's why you should learn a language, because you can understand billions more people. All right. Again, if you want to raise your hand and come talk to us, you can. Let's go over here. Mona's over there. Hello, Mona.
Hello.
I hope you're still there over there, Mona. Writing is a challenging thing for you? Well, Alex, if you have never ridden a bike, then riding a bike is hard. If you have never gone swimming, then swimming is hard. If you have never flown a plane, then flying a plane is hard. So what should you do? You have to do that thing. Okay? So if you're saying writing is hard, do it more. Okay? You can't be comfortable at something if you haven't done it enough. And that's mostly when people say, I can't do it well or I'm not comfortable, almost always the reason why is because I will ask you, how many times did you do it? How many times did you try? And you think you tried a lot. You say, oh, I tried 10 times, or I tried 20 times, or I tried 50 times, Teacher Mark. But guess what? If you didn't try 1,000 times, then you didn't try.
And that's true all the way up the
Yeah.
skill level.
That's
you know?
that's about
Yeah.
practice.
Yes.
This is the one thing that I learned from being a musician. When I learned how to play a musical instrument professionally, I learned that the difference between an amateur and a professional in how they practice and what they learn and what they do to study, completely different. Okay? An amateur is doing a half an hour a day and he doesn't really care. A professional is doing hours and hours and hours, and they're very serious about it, right? So if you want to be serious about something, if you want to be comfortable, then you have to do it enough to be comfortable, okay? So if you want to look like you're cool when you're riding a bike, then you need to ride it enough so you feel comfortable so that you can, right? If you've never done it, of course you don't look comfortable, okay? Long skirts? We're not wearing long skirts.
Long skirts?
Je dois kudze.
No, we're not Scottish.
Woman, you're doan kudze. This is doan kudze. Bullshit. It's not a skirt. They're shorts. Excuse me.
Very casual and has a sporty vibe.
You want
I'll
to
take it.
learn Scientific English. What do I recommend? If you want to learn scientific English, then what you want to learn is Latin.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say you just want to learn regular English and then start to build in the rest of those
funny,
words.
But scientific English is really mostly Latin, not English. Okay, so all of the words that we use in science, like biology, right?
Especially biology.
Yeah, those are all Latin words. Medical terms, all the medical terms, those are Greek or Latin. Almost all of them. Okay, so anything in medicine or science, Latin, 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 Latin. Okay? Please sing a song. Sing a song. Make it happy and make it
I don't know that one.
What is that from the Muppets?
I was gonna say it sounds like a Muppet
Sesame
song.
Street. Sesame Street.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, when I was a
Can
kid.
you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Yeah. So we are not singers. No,
You know I'd
we
go
are.
from
We are not
rags to
singers.
jazz.
That's right. Yeah.
Tony Bennett, the least criminal of all the crooners.
I did it my way.
Yeah, no, he was a big criminal.
All right. Anybody want to raise their hand and come talk to us?
I've had a few.
Anybody? Better than Justin singing.
Justin
Well, that
who?
is true. Bieber.
Oh, baby, 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 oh.
Poor Justin.
And if you like doing, you look that much.
You actually know his songs. I don't.
I
even
do
his
know a
songs.
couple. Oh, baby, you should go and love yourself. I don't mind some pop. It just can't do too much of it.
Yeah.
I hope you won't wear short pants anymore. What? We like Tony Soprano? The Don doesn't wear pants. Doesn't wear shorts.
Well,
Like Superman. I'll take it.
yeah.
No, we'll both take that.
It's summer.
David Corn
It's
sweat.
still summer. I'm wearing shorts as long as I can. You know, it's comfortable. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
Although,
dun,
I'll tell you what,
dun.
though, that is one of my favorite things about fall is that jeans
Oh
are
yeah,
comfortable.
I do.
again.
I know, and it's like I just like putting on a nice long sleeve, kind of heavier,
Yeah.
nice fabric, and
I'm a jeans
Go
guy.
ahead.
I love jeans, but it's too hot
I
to
do.
wear jeans. in
And
the summer.
this summer's been really hot.
Yeah.
And our summer here has been. This is finally we've had some nice couple days the last few days.
yeah, the last
but
couple days here have been really comfortable.
We had what 3 weeks of over 90 pretty much every single day. Yeah.
95.
Yeah,
And humid,
uh-huh.
and hot, and
Yeah.
sweaty, and ugh.
My
no,
car
no,
does
no.
not have air conditioning, and I was like sitting in traffic coming home from work, losing 3 pounds a day in water weight. Just
But as bad as that is, though, almost everybody else I've talked to
Is
in
it
here is
hotter?
much worse.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We're not doing
and
as bad.
generally
as other
this area overall, it doesn't get we get some heavy weather in both seasons, but overall we get fairly mild
Yeah.
when it comes to like when I lived in Denver. And we got so much snow all the time
Yeah.
that they stopped plowing the roads basically.
And compared to most places in the world, the weather here is pretty
Tame.
tame.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's
We don't have to worry about
we have
coastal stuff.
tornadoes.
Yeah.
Tornadoes is the only
And
thing
even
that we
we're-
really have to
we're
worry
pretty
about.
we're like just on the edge of the actual like bad part of
Right,
of Tornado
and-
Alley, which is
and tornadoes, it depends on where you live. Like
Yeah.
where I live right now, there's almost no chance because it's
Right.
all hills.
exactly.
But if it's flat, if you live in a flat farmland area, then that's when the tornadoes come and just
Yeah.
destroy everything. But yeah, anyway, but other than tornadoes, we really don't have
No.
that much to worry about here. Flooding and tornadoes. That's
Yeah.
about it. And even the flooding is not that bad.
No.
Okay, anyway. Have I had red wine?
Red,
Not today.
red wine.
Not this morning. Not this morning. But yes, I've had red wine.
I don't drink anymore. I don't drink any less.
That's funny. The topic is life.
That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, and it's hot as hell in May.
He's a singer, not me.
I
I'm the
I
drummer.
like to sing.
Yeah. You can ask Clay to sing.
Yeah, I'll sing something. I don't know Nicki Minaj. Where's the Minaj fan?
Yeah, right. Where's Hussein? Yeah, where'd he go?
I don't know any of her songs.
Yeah, me neither. Okay, again, if you have questions about English, about writing, reading, listening, speaking, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, accent, confidence, whatever, ask us. Or maybe you want to ask a question about culture or about learning or something else, you know? We don't know everything, but we don't know nothing.
That's right. That's like that's another Descartes. Abu Bakr.
Speaking, what about speaking? Ask a question. Do you have a question about speaking? Yes, ask the oracle.
The oracle of language. Hey, the oracles of mythology. They were, I think, women who hadn't done something yet.
Yeah, right. Let's see here. The oracle has spoken.
Where'd that voice come from? It's my voice too.
How can you improve grammar and vocabulary? Well, vocabulary, I'll just give you my article again, and you should read it. And you might need to translate it because, when I write, I don't always make it simple. When I speak, when I'm teaching, I try to keep it simple. But when I'm writing, I want you to work a little bit. I got too many windows open. I can never find what I need when I need it. Oh, there it is, right there. So here is an article about vocabulary. This is what you should read, okay? If you want to know about learning vocabulary, read that article. For grammar, you need a good book. You need a good system. But honestly, the other thing, the ChatGPT is really great for grammar. It's excellent for grammar. Tell ChatGPT, I need to work on my English grammar. Ask it to test you. Like, what you should do is write a story. Write a story about anything in English, and then tell ChatGPT, please look at my writing and then tell me how to improve my grammar. What's wrong with my grammar? What did I do wrong? What do I need to learn? Okay?
Be nice.
And it will look at your writing, and then that's a way that you can learn grammar and find your mistakes at the same time. Okay?
And writing it down in general is another, exercise that helps whenever you're writing.
That's right. Yeah. Do you guys do a podcast? I do. Yes. I mean, we are right now, technically. Yes. How to improve pronunciation. That depends on what problems you have with pronunciation. Sometimes when people are talking about pronunciation, they just don't know how to pronounce anything. And sometimes people are trying to work on clearing up their pronunciation.
Or a specific sound that is giving you trouble.
Or a problematic sound. Right. So again, you have to kind of tell me what's your problem. What's your problem with it first? Okay? If you say, I have a problem with pronunciation, what do I do with that? I don't know what problem. What's your problem exactly? There are many problems that you could have with pronunciation. So try to tell me more, and maybe I can help you. All right, let's see. Umar, yeah, if you want to come talk again, you can. Nobody else is coming up, so you are welcome to. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. There you go. We sang a song. There you go.
That's, you know, I didn't think about how many Americans probably do know that song. I would imagine it's
childhood.
It's a huge percentage of
But
the
again,
country knows
it's
that
also
song.
funny when you think about how many kids don't know things like that anymore.
Oh yeah,
And I don't mean that
you're right.
specific song.
No, but
I mean any.
yeah, you're right.
Like learning
Yeah.
Frere Jacques.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the next thing I was gonna say.
Frere
Frere Jacques.
It used to be that every kid in the class knew
Yeah.
those songs.
Mhm.
Now there are like significant numbers of kids who don't
Right.
know any of those.
Yeah.
They don't even know row your boat. You know, it's like, wow. Bad parenting, what? You know? Yeah. Anyway, Umar, yes. Okay, let's get Umar back on stage. And hopefully you heard our answer, Umar.
And our song.
Yeah, right.
Hi.
Hello, Umar. You're
Thanks
welcome.
again.
You're welcome.
Thanks again, man. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
Actually, at that time, I got a phone call from my mom. And as you know, I am away from home. I am living currently in a hostel. So if I don't pick her call, she gets worried. That's why
That's right. I
picked her.
understand
Yes,
that.
mom. You
Yep,
gotta
that's
answer.
mom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Sure. Yeah. So,
Thanks, man.
did you hear our answer? I hope.
Um, I was at that point when you were telling me that they were here,
Yeah.
and I got
Right.
from them.
So, hustle and talent, they're both important, but really, it's about hard work. It's about passion. If you have passion, it's easy to do hard work. Okay? People are impressed by talent because talent requires hard work. But what they don't know is that hard work is easy when you have passion. So I practiced drums. When I was younger, I used to practice drums for 6, 7, 8 hours every day. And some people would say, wow. But for me, that was fun. That was fun. It was 8 hours of intense practice, but yes, it was fun. Why? Because I was passionate. So that's the secret. Talent is something that we usually say when someone has an interest in something. If you're not actually interested in it, we don't usually say you're talented at it, right?
Right.
Like if you're good at fixing things, like probably you like
Yeah.
fixing things. But if you're good at fixing things and you don't like them, that's
Yeah,
almost
or-
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, or you're like with the basketball thing. You're a talented basketball player, but you don't play basketball.
Right.
Then it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
work.
Yeah, it's funny. So that's why
Yeah.
passion is usually the most important part of talent is, do you have passion? Are you interested in this thing enough to want to push yourself? Do you know what the word passion means? The original meaning.
In English, I don't know the synonym of this word, but I think it means if you are interested in that thing, if you feel for that.
So it's a funny thing. This word is actually originally it's a religious word. Passion is the word that they used to talk about Jesus when he was on the cross. They put him on the cross, right? And he suffered for the people. Passion is when you are willing to suffer for something. That's passion. That's what passion is. Passion means I love doing this so much that I will practice until I'm tired, like so tired, because I'm passionate. I'm willing to suffer for what I love. That's passion. Okay? That's the original meaning. Yeah. So that's why it's important. If you have passion, doing hard work is easy.
I get it.
Okay.
My next question is, if somebody don't have any interest in doing a certain job, but I mean, he has been forced to do work hard for that. Will that be, I mean, fruitful for him?
So
Will he
if,
get the output or not?
if he's doing a job he doesn't like, will it be beneficial for him? Is that your general question?
No, a kind of it's like that. But I mean, if he don't want to do that, but he is forced to do that work, um, and he works hard, but will that work hard pay him or not?
Well, that's hard to say.
Sometimes the work is
That's right.
its own reward, as
Sometimes
they say.
that's what we say is
Yeah.
work is its own reward. Now,
It's not. Oh, it's not.
I think that
sometimes that's exploitative.
Yeah, I think that often people say work is its own reward when they want you to work
When
harder.
they're making money off of you.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But what I would say is sometimes there are some jobs that you have to do that you don't have interest in and you're not passionate about, but you can learn things from them. You can learn discipline, you can learn responsibility, you can learn focus, you can learn how to work together with people on a team, right? So, you know, in a perfect world, we would do things that we like in a perfect world.
And get paid for it.
Right.
Yeah.
But everybody has to do some things that they don't like. So,
And it doesn't mean it'll be forever.
Right.
Either.
That's right.
There's goals you can look to outside of that.
this is something I really wish somebody would have told me when I was younger is sometimes what you need to tell yourself is it's only temporary. So maybe you're at this job right now and you have to do this job right now, but every day you just tell yourself it's only temporary. It's only temporary. It's only temporary. And that means that you can go there every day and I don't like it, but I'm going to do it. It's temporary. It's just for now. It's just for now. Okay? But that also means that if that's true, then you have to have your eyes on something better. Right? So that means that maybe you have to do this job right now because you need money and you need a job, you need work. But while you're doing that, you should try to be looking around to see, is there something else that I could be doing that I actually might want to do?
And it may require more work on top of what you're doing
That's right.
to be paid in
Yeah.
order to get to that point. And
might
that's,
have to
and that's
struggle.
part of it. And that's
Yeah.
part of where the hard work is its own reward kind of has some truth to it.
Yeah. You know, it's a funny thing, but we always think that work is work and that you don't like your work, it's just work.
Yeah, that's
right.
it's the baseline.
You just have to
yeah.
do it.
uh-huh.
It's just work. But if you have to see a doctor, and there are two doctors, one doctor loves being a doctor. He loves it. It's his passion. And the other doctor, it's just a job. Who do you want to see? You want to see the
That
guy who
one.
likes it. Yeah, you want to see that. If you have a kid and you have to send them to school and they have two teachers, one teacher who loves teaching, he's passionate, and the other teacher just does it
Puts
for
on a movie
job.
every day. Yeah.
Who do you want teaching your kid? You want the guy who likes it, who's passionate. So it's weird, but we usually think that work is just work, but every work, any work, if you like it, you're going to do it better. So we should encourage people to try to find work you like. You should always try to encourage people to find work you like. You can't always like it. You can't always, but you should try. All right? Like I remember when I was younger, I was a busser in a restaurant. It was one of my first jobs, okay? A busser is a guy who he just cleans the table at the restaurant, right? Like after they eat, now I get the table and I clean it up and I take the dishes away. That was my job. Is that a fun job? No.
Right.
That is not a fun job at all. That's a terrible job. But when I worked there, the kitchen people, we were like this like family. We were like this team, and yeah, the work was not good, but the team felt good. It was like, okay, I don't like my work, but I like my team. So that's good.
That's how it was a lot at the casino.
Right.
It was, you know.
He used to work at a casino.
Yeah, and I feel like that has some action here with the you're never going to enjoy everything all the time, no matter what it is, you know?
But if you don't enjoy doing something, you can at least enjoy who you are around.
Yes.
So what that means is if you work someplace and you don't like everybody there, find another job.
Yeah.
Find another job, because no, that's not healthy for you to go to someplace every day where you don't like the people you're around, right? So maybe you don't like the work, but at least you can like the people. Right?
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
And then, like I said, still, you should be looking around to see what else is out there. And you need to be developing yourself so that you can find your talents, find your abilities, find your skills, and keep working on them until you have more value. Right? This is something I wish somebody would have explained to me a long time ago. That
Become undeniable. Is
yeah,
what they
like
say. Yeah.
When you play a video game, right? They play video games and you have a character and you have to make him better, right? You make him stronger.
Level up.
You level
Yeah.
up, right? You develop the character. And if you make the character stronger, if you develop the character, you're probably going to win more easily, right? The character is stronger. He can do better. Guess what? That's called life. In real life, that's exactly how life works. You are a character. You have to develop your character so that you have skills that make it easier for you to live in the world. So you should learn valuable things that make you valuable.
I get it.
You know, develop yourself. I learned this when I was a boy, when we were in Boy Scouts. Boy Scouts is like a group for kids where they teach boys lots of different things. Everything from writing to camping
How to make a
hiking
fire.
to how to make a fire to, you know, archery and lots of different things, right? But it was the idea. The idea was learn this thing and now you're valuable. Learn
Even
this
if it's just to
skill.
yourself.
Yeah, yeah, but well, no,
It's more so. It's more than that, but
they were
even if
always
it is
wanting,
just
yeah,
that,
it was
yeah.
always develop yourself so that you are more valuable to your community.
Yeah.
Right. It was a way to say that I learned this thing and now I can be beneficial to my community. Right? I have value to my community. People will think I'm valuable because I have valuable skills. Okay? It's not about money. It's about your character development. You know, there are some people who spend a lot of time developing their character. They work on their intelligence. They think, they study, they learn. They work on their strength, their body, right? They work on their wisdom. They learn to study the philosophy of people before them. They learn history. They want to develop themselves. They learn talents and skills like music or cooking or teaching or something, right? The more skills you have, it's kind of like a pocket knife, right? When I was a boy, every boy, we always wanted to have a pocket knife. And a pocket knife is not just one knife. No, no, no. You have the big knife and the small knife and the other little tool and this little tool and that little tool and so many little tools all on one knife. And that's why that knife is the best, because it's not just a knife. It has lots of talents and skills.
It's a spoon.
Yeah. So I can teach and I can play music and I can cook and I can speak Chinese. And those are talents, those are skills that I can use in this world, this video game. Okay?
That's great.
Yeah.
That's much great.
Yeah, that's the way to look at it. Everybody's working on their video game characters. Nobody's working
On
on their personal character.
Yeah, on their, yeah.
Yeah, come on, guys.
You're right.
Yeah, tomorrow,
Right.
stop working on your video game character. Start working on your character.
You are so much right.
Yeah.
Thank you for the information. I will meet you again tomorrow, inshallah.
All right. It's our pleasure. It's nice to meet you. Take care, Omar.
Thank
We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, that was nice.
Yeah, he's very nice.
And see, that's why I like the open question format, because I'm not afraid to answer a question that's about something that's not English.
Right.
You know, but
That's where you get into interesting
It
topics
is.
and interesting discourse.
It is, yeah. You know, this is where I end up feeling like, am I being Joe Rogan right now?
Am I
You know,
therapizing?
like, yeah. Am I like acting like I know the answers to every question?
Right.
You know, like. So that's why I always tell people, like, look, if you want to ask me a question about life, if you want to ask me a question about culture or history or science or philosophy, you can. There's nothing wrong with that, and I will give you my answer, sure. But you just need to remember that this is just my answer. That's my answer. I am not a god. I am a guide. I don't know everything. I just might know a little more than some people.
And as individuals here, you've got to choose what is applicable for you and
Right.
what relates to your life.
Right. So that's why I tell people, if you like my advice, great. I'm happy. But it's just my advice. It doesn't mean that I'm the only arbiter of truth. That
the last person you should get opinions from.
That's right.
You know? Like,
yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And that more than that, here's what I will tell you. The difference between Rogan and myself is this. I always will bow down to the experts.
Oh, I thought it was going to be the steroids.
No. That's funny. If there is somebody who knows more than I do about something, please, by all means, this is for you, not for me to answer, right?
And that's how education should work.
That's right.
You know, it doesn't always work
So,
like that, but
if you ask me a question about psychology, can I answer it? Probably, yes. But my father is a psychologist. So his answer is,
going to hold more weight.
has more value than my answer. My answer could be interesting. My answer could be pretty good and
Could be the
creative.
same.
Could be the same. But his answer has more value because he has the experience and he has the wisdom. Okay? So that's the big difference, is that my problem with Joe Rogan is that sometimes he's asking people questions who are not the
Well, and that's in
people to
this
ask.
country in general. Everyone's opinion has so much
Right.
value
Right.
that everyone thinks that, oh, well, they should, like when Terrence Howard went on to
Right.
Joe Rogan.
That's precisely who I was talking
and
about.
It's that same sort of,
Right.
oh, well, maybe they should start to think about this as if they haven't.
Right.
You know, as
Yeah.
if that's not part of scientific
Right.
discourse. Then I'm getting off on a tangent.
Yeah, but it's the
yeah.
same tangent, because this is something I try to think about. Is I
Yeah.
don't want to be like Rogan, and so the thing that I say is that if there is somebody who knows more, you should listen to them. So you can ask me whatever you want to, but just please remember that, guess what? There are lots of English teachers in this world who know more than me. There are lots of musicians in this world who know more than me. And guess what? If you ask them a question, I will say you should listen to them. Right? If you ask them a question about that thing, then I will say you should listen to them. Okay? So experts matter. It really, really matters. All right? And without a world with experts, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Now, there are problems with the process, the whole concept of
And there's dogmatic beliefs within
Yeah,
those sects
right.
like that are
However,
not changing.
every society needs experts in order to function. You need people who you can trust to say, he knows more than I do about this, you know? And that's normal, because the guy who read every book about rockets knows more than me, the guy who watched one video on YouTube,
Yeah.
right?
Who filled up a bottle with baking soda and water and watched
Right.
it shoot up into the air.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, let's see. You are welcome to all the people saying thank you, and I am the Oracle.
I am the Eggman.
Yeah.
Cuckoo, 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 cuckoo.
Let's see. We should listen to various opinions and visions from different people. Well, yes. You should always listen to various opinions from different people.
It should be framed in the proper way, though.
But not every opinion is equal. Okay? Everybody has an opinion. That's true. But that does not mean every opinion is equal.
Yeah, just
right?
because someone.
If you don't know anything about that subject, you can have an opinion about it, but that doesn't mean you know anything about it.
If your opinion is 1 × 1 = 2, then that is not an opinion that
That's
needs
right.
to be given any weight.
Right. Marcus Aurelius, he's a famous Roman general, right?
He was an emperor.
Emperor, right. And he said, the opinion of 10,000 men means nothing if they know nothing of the subject. Okay? And that's important. So if you're listening to people, you should get various opinions.
He had a
but
whole
you
book
should
of
get
Proverbs.
various opinions from people who have credibility. And Terrence Howard ain't that.
No.
You know, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy,
if-
he's actually he's got a bright mind,
And
he's got a very bright mind,
And he's a good actor. So if you were to ask him something about acting,
by all means,
then you would
yes,
listen to him.
That's his field.
Yes.
You should ask him about.
and he
acting.
is an expert.
That's
in that.
right. Yeah, but he's the kind of guy who should know. I have ideas, I have opinions, I have theories, but that doesn't mean that I actually am right. And celebrity.
Oh, it
makes
gives way to
people-
yes men.
Yeah, celebrity makes people think that everything they think is correct and right.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
The Kanye story.
Yeah, that's right. Or the Elon story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we have one more person. Purple wants to talk to us, and then I think we're going to wrap it up here. We're 12:30 already.
Purple, was that Poland flag?
Indonesia.
Indonesia. Wow.
Poland's the other way.
Oh, okay. It's white on top,
Yeah.
red on bottom.
Hello, Purple. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
I'm just studying.
You're in Indonesia right now. Are you in Jakarta or where?
I'm in Pekanbaru City.
Is that north, south? Where is that?
It's like the region is Riau. Riau.
Oh, okay. Is that far away from Jakarta or?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's a bit far, but Pekanbaru City is really near to Singapore.
Ah, Singapore.
Okay.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Now I
Nice.
know. Okay. Good. So, what can we do for you today? How can we help you?
Actually, it's like a problem in life. And you need to know that I'm not really good in English. I'm just study English by myself.
Okay.
And now I'm going to ask you about life.
Okay.
I work in marketing now, and at the first, it wasn't my passion.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was work as an accounting, then I resigned because there was problem with my boss. And then I tried to face my life, and there was no job that I can take just in marketing. So I tried to love my job. I tried to like my job, but I'm not really like it much.
Okay.
But I need to live. I need to earn the money.
Yeah.
And
I
now-
know that's always a problem.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your problem is
How-
that most people are the same as you. Most people don't like their work, I think.
Yeah,
I
I
think
would say
most
so.
people don't really like their job. They do their job.
Yeah.
Like, for example, my best friend Kurt, he sells medical equipment, right? And it's a good job. It makes good money, but he doesn't really like that job, I don't think. You know, he doesn't have a passion or an interest in it. He just
Right.
does it. But that job pays pretty well. And then he has money, so he can go traveling and he can go skiing and he can go camping and do all the things that he loves to do in life. So his job is not his passion. It's not his interest. That's true for many, many, many people. But it does pay him enough money that he can do things that make it worthwhile. So the question is, if you're doing a job that you don't really like, is it worth it? That's the question.
Uh,
And sometimes it is. Sometimes it is worth it.
Yeah, if you're
Sometimes it's
eating,
not.
if it's between eating and not eating, then
Right.
it is worth it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that most people, if you're doing a job that you don't like, I do think that you should look to see if there's other things, because the worst possible thing is you try another job that you don't like.
Yeah. Yeah, and
But
it is.
maybe you find a job that you do like, right? Maybe you do.
but
And remember, sometimes it's not even about the job. It's about the people, right? So if I worked at a grocery store, I don't want to work at a grocery store. I don't really find interest in that. But if everybody at the grocery store was really cool and nice, and I felt good going there every day, maybe that's worth it.
Or I'm making $200,000 a year.
Right.
And I'll go to the grocery store.
Like I
you
said,
know?
so sometimes you have to consider things more than just money, right? Money is
Yes.
one part of it, but sometimes it's about, okay, well, maybe the money at this job is so-so, but I don't like the people. But there's another job over here that's the same money, but the people are nice. So maybe you should try that job. Maybe you won't like the job, but at least you like the people.
And finding what you like is hard too. To know exactly what it is you like and how to make that into something you could possibly do for a living is not easy.
That's right.
It's
That's
not
why
easy even knowing what it is that you want to do.
I
but
tell people that
you got to find something.
finding your talent or finding the things that you really like, those things are like diamonds. Diamonds are in the ground, and you have to dig for them. And you're digging through dirt. Dirt is worthless. It has no value at all. So to find the thing that has value, you have to do a lot of things that maybe don't have value.
May even drill through rock even
Right.
harder than
Yeah.
it may get
So-
really hard to find.
So
a
that
diamond.
means that you can't find something if you don't go look for it. That's the first thing, right? You can't find it if you don't go looking, right? That many people, they say, well, I don't know what my talent is. And then I say, well, did you look?
Right.
Did you look
Yeah.
for your talent? Because you have to go look.
yeah,
It's not just going to show up on your
Right.
door, you know? You have to find it, you know?
yeah. I also wondering, and sometimes if I get home, I told to God, God, I don't know exactly what I want, but please give me the way, give me the way. And these days, I'm planning to study English. Even it's like a dream. Sometimes dream suddenly comes to my heart. What if I get another job and try to? It's like try to try to go abroad. That is why I'm studying English right now.
That's great.
That is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means you have an idea. You have an idea. Now you have to take your idea and make a plan. Okay? And then you have to execute that plan. Execute means do it.
And there's many
Okay.
people who have done what you want to do. So
Yeah.
it's
very
possible.
possible. Yeah, it's possible. But here's how it works.
They work.
I have an idea. I make a plan. I execute the plan. Those are the three things you have to do. Most people only do two. They have an idea and they make a plan, but they don't follow through. They don't do the plan. I can say anything. I'm going to be the president of the United States. I can say it. but unless I do something, it doesn't mean anything. You can say whatever.
You're going to be
Words-
great. I tell you.
Words mean nothing. What you are is what you do, not what you say. Right? What you are is what you do, not what you say. So make a plan and then do it.
Amen. I hope God will show me the way.
Well, you have to be creative and you have to be open. You have to see things that other people don't see. You know, see an opportunity that somebody else didn't see. Okay? And remember what I said, passion means that you're willing to suffer. Passion is a willingness. I'm willing to suffer. It means
Making a sacrifice.
that I love this thing so much, or I want this thing so much, that I'm willing to do painful things, difficult things to get there.
I see.
Right? You have to remember that if you want something,
You have to remember that
there's a sacrifice you have to
Thank
do. You have to get that sacrifice, you know? So right now,
So much.
this could
I
be
see.
right now.
this time period right now might feel like it's a bad time period, but it could be that the next thing is just around the corner for you. It could be that the next door is just around the
Next
corner.
door is
You just have to keep looking,
Okay.
keep
just have
trying.
to keep
And remember,
looking,
make a
keep trying.
plan.
And
Make a
remember-
plan. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And your English is pretty good.
Yeah.
And your English is pretty good. Yeah.
I don't think so. I never take a course yet.
We can
I just
understand you.
study by myself.
We can under.
These are two teachers.
There are two teachers.
We're telling you, your
Oh.
English is
We're telling
pretty
you.
good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good.
so great.
Yeah, really. Yeah, so you're
Yeah,
doing well.
really.
Keep
Yeah, so
working
you-
on it. Okay?
Okay.
All right, well, Purple, we're going to let you go, but it
Purple,
was
we're gonna let-
nice to see you, and thank you for coming on my stage. Good luck to you, and
To you.
come
And
back,
so
maybe,
much.
and tell us. Sometimes people come
And
back
tell
and
us
tell me, you
sometime-
know, next year, and you'll have a new job, and now you tell me, oh, I got my new job. Thank you so much. Come back and tell us, okay?
Thank you so much. Bye
All
bye.
right, bye-bye. We'll see you next time.
See you.
Okay, before I forget, I need to make sure I give everybody this. This is my website. Everybody, if you want to get private lessons, go to my website. It's right here. You can also find lots of free resources to study English on my website. Okay, you can find my blog on my website as well. There is my blog right there. On my blog, I have many articles that I have written about many things. You can search through different things like concepts or etymology or grammar or vocabulary or pronunciation. I have some chapters from my book, all in my blog. I also have a YouTube. Whoop, no, that's not it. This one, YouTube channel. Oh, no, that's not it either. Which one is it? This one. That's it. There's my YouTube channel. And I have a link tree. If you go to my link tree, you can also find my podcast. You can find everything on my link tree. I have a blog. I have a YouTube. I have a podcast. And I have my live streams. Okay? So go check it out and sign up. And hopefully Clay will be back
Yes,
again sometime
I
next
will.
week.
Yeah.
And just anytime.
I was gonna say possibly even Monday,
Always
I
welcome.
think.
Okay, great.
Yeah, if you'll
Well,
have it.
hopefully we'll be able to make this work again soon. And if not, then I'm usually here myself most of the time, around this time, Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday as well. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm usually here. Sometimes Clay joins me. Okay. The website, those are my website. That's my links. Okay. So the first one is my website. Okay. The second one is my blog. The third one is my YouTube. And the fourth one is everything. Okay. Okay. That's going to be it for us today, guys. We've been here for 2 hours and
2.5,
28
yeah.
minutes. Wow. That went fast.
That did. That was a good
Yeah,
one.
that was a good one. Yeah, we had some good questions, good answers. It was fun. So, thank you, Clay, for coming back and joining us. And
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you guys next time. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening wherever you live in the world. And Lena over there in my YouTube. Thank you.
Hey,
Hello,
Lena.
Lena. Good to see you. All right, take care, guys. We'll see you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Okay. So see you guys.